tradition. Doors open, students flood through and down to their seats courtside. And tonight they hope to root on their team to a perfect start of 4-0. 3-0 Utah State here at the D. Smith Glenn Spectrum, playing host to unbeaten Mississippi State. The Bulldogs, of course, coming out of the SEC. Hello, everyone, and welcome alongside Jordan Cornette. I'm Ray Crawford. Well, Utah State, no stranger to big games. They faced a Pac-12 opponent here in their season opener, ruining the debut of Andy Enfield by beating the Trojans here in Logan. Tonight, they get an SEC team in here. This is a Bulldog squad, Jordan. It is 3-0, and their offense is really triggered through the big guy, Gavin Ware.
The big ticket, and Ray, he's a big man, Gavin Ware. This guy is going to be the low down low, the only interior threat for this Bulldog team. And like the Lady Gaga song says, I was born that way. This guy was not. He lost about 13 pounds in the offseason, making him a truly difficult defensive assignment. He's the lone guy they look to on the blow block. If he can get them going, really provide that scoring punch, Bulldogs got a shot. He also has to stay out of foul trouble, Ray. This is a very thin front court for this Bulldog team, so look for Ware to be the difference if they try and get this one.
Talk about Utah State. This program comes in with a number 5 RPI ranking in the nation, and rightfully so. You play big teams on your home floor. You beat them. You're 3-0, have a tough schedule. Very deserving. And this is a program that also looks inside to their big guy, Jared Shaw.
Yeah, you know, both these teams boast great perimeter play, but I do think it's going to be decided in the interior with this matchup. You know, Jared Shaw, he's going to be the guy for this basketball team. Showed he can fill it up, scoring big numbers, 24 points earlier in the season, held to only 9 points, 9 rebounds in his last outing against UC Santa Barbara. But what intrigued me about that game, Ray, was the fact that he can field the double team, he can kick it out to the shooters, and boy, does he have some shooters in Mellon and Butterfield on that team. So if he can field the double teams, they got a shot as well.
Let's take a look at the Bulldogs lineup as put on the floor by second-year head coach Rick Ray. We talked about the big man in the middle. Let's discuss Fred Thomas for a moment. This is a young man that put up 17 points against Kennesaw State, and this is the type of effort that they want to see more from him.
We talked to Bulldog coach Rick Ray earlier on in the shoot-around, and he said he loves this kid, Fred Thomas, but he got pushed around in conference play last season. What did he do? He bulked up in the offseason, making him a big-time threat. Now, Coach Ray said for them to have a chance in this game and steal this one on the road, he's got to knock down the open shots.
All right, so for the Aggies and their coach Stu Morrill entering his 16th season here in Logan, this is the lineup he'll put on the floor. A couple of guys from the perimeter in Medlin and Butterfield. They're going to complement the big guy Shaw inside.
A veteran group, Ray, a cerebral bunch. You got to beat this basketball team. They're not going to beat themselves. Assist-to-turnover ratio, one of the best in all the land. But even more, makes it even more tough out is how well they shoot from the three-point line. 13th in all the land in three-point percentage. So if they get hot, man, it's going to be a long night for the Bulldogs.
Sets up to be a good one. Fans are in the seat. Let's go.
The 2014 Reese's Southwest Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Championship.
Here's a look at the 16th year head coach in Stu Morrill, and the numbers do not lie, as they say. Jordan, very impressive. Only 5 teams have won at least 21 games in each of the last 14 years. Duke, Gonzaga, Kansas, Syracuse, and Utah State.
Pretty good company, Ray. I mean, talk about a model of consistency. He has that program really going.
And, of course, Rick Ray on the other sideline, as we mentioned, second-year head coach. This is his first venture into head coaching. Spent many years as an assistant under Matt Painter, who's one of those stops at Purdue.
We got a chance to talk to him a lot earlier this morning, a true class act. Now, remember, he's a disciple of Matt Painter and those Purdue basketball teams. You know what they preach? Defense, defense, defense. So it's a battle of strengths. Whose strength will prevail in this basketball game? Utah State incredibly efficient offensively. The defense of the Bulldogs. Who will take over who in this one?
You see the students here. Their football team picked up a victory this afternoon against Colorado State, and they made the walk up the hill here to the Spectrum and hoping to make it 2 for 2 here for the men's basketball program as they hope to improve on their 3-0 record and look to go 4-0 here in front of the home crowd of Logan.
Nice when you have a crowd like this, a true sixth man, determined and passionate fans to be out there in the cold. We walked over from the hotel, Ray, and we were like, get us indoors. It's freezing, but they're staying the duration, 40 minutes long, 40 minutes strong. Can the Aggies get another home win?
Well, one thing you know when you attend Utah State and play here for Stu Morrill, you are going to win. 14 consecutive 20-win seasons here in Logan. Pretty phenomenal what they've been able to do. They've had a great deal of success in the WAC. Now they make the transition into the Mountain West this year.
Yeah, the mark of a great coach is the extension of coaching onto the floor. I said it in the pregame. This is a team that you have to beat. They're not going to beat themselves. They take care of the basketball, a mark of a great team. They don't miss defensive assignments. Everybody textbook, fundamentally sound box outs when the ball goes in the air. A well-coached team, so they're not going to make the mental mistakes. Couple that with being at home, this team, Mississippi State, better be ready to play when that ball tips.
Student body is jumping. We're about to jump this one. Dick Hartwell, Larry Spalding, Bob Staffen are the officials in this one. It's going to be Shaw set to jump it up for Utah State. And the big fella, Gavin Ware, set to go. And it's going to be Mississippi State who wins. The tip is Trevante Bloodman who gets the hands on the basketball here to start the offense for the Bulldogs. Craig Sword kicks it back out. Now there's Borker. Sword with the dribble. Back out top, Bloodman. Looking inside. They're going to try to get it inside to Ware. They do on the post. Turns and he misses. Rebound comes down to Butterfield. This is Tanale Rowland with the basketball. The dish. Shaw's first shot attempt is good.
Nice two-man game right there. The high screen from Shaw. He doesn't elect to go down the avenue and roll for the traditional screen and roll. Steps out. He has that touch. Able to knock it down. A tough defensive assignment for Ware.
This is quite an experience here as Craig Sword drives high off the window and into tie.
Now it's going to be the challenge for this Aggies basketball team, defending the ball screen, arguably one of the toughest things to defend in basketball. And these are aggressive guards for the Bulldogs, strong and physical.
A young basketball team for Mississippi State. You believe it's going to be crucial here these first 10 minutes for the Bulldogs?
Absolutely. Got to withstand the pressure, the early onslaught from the crowd, keep them out of it.
Ball on the floor picked up by Bloodman. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Bulldogs, so it's going to go back to the Aggies.
This is how Mississippi State likes to play a basketball game. Controlled chaos, if you will. They like to get up and down, athleticism to the forefront. They like to muddy up the basketball game. You're getting a semblance of it here early on.
Medlin, we mentioned defensively, they are going to play tightly on Preston Medlin as well as Spencer Butterfield. It's going to be tough for them to get their shot. Rowland far side. This is Butterfield who drives and now swings it to Shaw. He's going to pull up and shoot from 15. He's got off the
Shaw electing not to do his work on the low block, making Ware come out and defend. Ware not doing so. Shaw making him pay.
Fred Thomas played at 185 pounds last year. He bulked up, part of the offseason conditioning. He's now at 207, so playing bigger. And a foul. Looks like they're going to get Borkard on the charge.
Borkard's a special part of this offense, what the Bulldogs like to do. He can really stretch defenses out with his perimeter stroke. I think on that possession right there, he should have taken the three-point shot. Not as comfortable putting the ball on the deck. And great defensive position for the Aggies to draw the foul. Fundamentally sound basketball, a sign of a well-coached team. Great defensive positioning, turning the team over.
A well-coached and experienced team. We talk about the youth of the Bulldogs. This is a Utah State team that went through a lot of adversity, began the season 14-1, really struggled down the stretch, but they had a wide array of injuries, from the hip injury, foot injuries, you name it. They were just down to 7 scholarship players by the end of the season. Here's Kyle Davis's shot. Can't quite get it off. Back come the other way. Come the Bulldogs. Craig Sword. The shot is up, and he's going to go to the line for a pair.
Coach Rick Ray for the Bulldogs said, we like to get out in transition, but we can't do that if we don't get stops defensively. We're right there. They're able to get one, get out in transition, and draw the foul right there. That's what they like to do. That's how they're effective. They don't like to do it in the offensive half-court setting. Get out and go right there. Sword takes full advantage.
They got Preston Medlin on the foul, so that's his first.
Crowd is in it early, Ray. I love it, man.
Students love it here. The second shot is in and out for Sword. And Bloodman now applying the pressure here to Rowland out top as he crosses midcourt. This is Butterfield. Had a 20-rebound game against Texas State last March. Shaw looking for 2 more, and he's got shaking his head. He's feeling it, Jordan.
I mean, he's daring Ware to get out there and guard him. No contest for the third straight open look. Those are high percentage ones. He's making them pay.
6-2. And the backdoor feed to Raquez Johnson. Count the bucket. He'll go to the line for a chance at a three-point opportunity here.
Defense fell asleep at the wheel. A back cut right there enables Johnson to come around. He's the microwave off the bench, provides that scoring punch. Been in for mere moments, and he's already finding himself with the old-fashioned three-point play. Look, defense falls asleep, back cut. Great use of the up fake. I thought that might have been continuation right there, maybe on the floor, but you'll take what you can get on the road, Ray Crawford.
Yeah. Johnson, rather, unable to convert on the three-point opportunity here at the charity stripe, so they still trail by 2. Medlin pulls up. That's good for 3 if it goes. No good, and tipped out of bounds. It's going to stay at this end. Last touch by Johnson underneath.
Get a taste of what this Aggies team likes to do when the shot goes up. Medlin no good, but the guards even crash from the wings. Butterfield for a guard is a tremendous rebounder, giving him another second chance opportunity.
Rowland triggers the inbounds to Davis. Back out top here is Butterfield. Trevante Bloodman forcing Rowland to go to his right side.
Interesting. The Bulldogs showing that 1-3-1 zone, trying to extend him. Got out of man quickly.
Butterfield tries to throw it down inside to Davis. It goes out of bounds. So the Bulldogs doing a pretty good job on the defensive end, save for Jared Shaw in the 6 points.
And it's interesting. Rick Ray said to us at the start of this morning that he was going to play man-to-man defense till he felt like he needed to get out of it. And 4 minutes into the basketball game, you're seeing zones. That's a pretty telling fact.
It's been quite a learning experience for Rick Ray at Mississippi State. They too had problems with injuries a year ago. He told us at the morning shoot-around today last year they couldn't even practice 5-on-5. As the ball goes out of bounds here, it's going to be the Aggies basketball. But again, they were not healthy last year. This year, at least, they can have some competition in practice.
Continuity critical for this basketball team, especially when you have a second-year coach who's trying to implement his system. Well, you need healthy bodies. He said you couldn't be competitive in practice because they didn't have the bodies. So a healthy team makes for a good one. And right now, if they can control these turnovers, it's starting to get away from them early.
Ray Applewhite checking in. Wide open underneath this Kyle Davis. He's able to score and feed by Shaw. So add an assist to Shaw's numbers tonight.
Kyle Davis gets behind the teeth of the defense, loitering along that baseline, and he's rewarded with an easy one.
This is Applewhite. Pulls up at the free throw line. Looking for help. And all ball almost tipped away and taken by Spencer Butterfield. Ware spins, shoots, and gets the roll. His first 2 points gets more.
There has to be more focus on getting the big fella some touches. He's incredibly effective down low, and not only that, but you want to challenge Shaw, get him in foul trouble. He's been the offensive lighthouse for this Aggies basketball team. Challenge him on the defensive end.
And we've got a foul on the floor. Trevante Bloodman whistled with the foul early on here in the opening half. Mississippi State hanging with Utah State, a battle of unbeatens. The Aggies lead it by 2 early, 8-6. Jordan and I will be back from the Spectrum. Jared Shaw with an impressive performance so far. Back here at the Spectrum in Logan, Utah. It is the Aggies with an 8-6 lead here over Mississippi State, and the Bulldogs, a young team on the road, surviving here early on and thriving really defensively, except for Jared Shaw. And we talked to Rick Ray earlier in the game. I think he felt comfortable letting those 4 and 5 guys beat him from the perimeter and kind of daring them to do that. Jared Shaw, though, stepping out, knocking down that 14, 15-foot jumper.
Yeah, I don't think he quite expected Shaw to be the one to cause the most punishment from the perimeter, but he's going to continue to bait Ware to come out and defend him, and if he doesn't, he's going to continue to make him pay. Those are high-percentage 10-footers, and he's feeling good. It's scary when a guy like that has confidence and momentum on his side.
So some changes to the lineup here for the Aggies. Marcel Davis checks in, as well as Danny Berger. And Berger gets his hands on a back door and feeds it to Kyle Davis. Partially tips in, though, his own miss. And the first 2 points for Kyle Davis.
If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again, big fella.
Danny Berger for the Aggies playing on the defensive end now, chasing around Ray Applewhite. An interesting story surrounding Berger. You're probably quite familiar with the situation that he had last year. Suffered a cardiac arrest at the end of practice. And spent the entire year. He's got an internal defibrillator inserted and surgically implanted into his heart. And he is back at 100%. I know he's glad to be back in basketball, and these fans are too, but certainly a scary moment for Utah State a year ago. Good to see him back and healthy and on the floor here in Logan.
What a great story.
We're going to look at him there. They used a defibrillator that happened to be here at the arena to bring him back to life. Really quite a remarkable story, and he spent the offseason going around really as an advocate to try to get defibrillators in all Utah schools, and was successful in the state passing a bill to fund it. So it's great to see Berger back here on the floor. Kyle Davis driving there, the ball going out of bounds here, but it will stay with the Aggies as they will try to expand on this 10-6 lead here with 14:34 remaining in the opening half. It's Jordan Stone with it. Marcel Davis pulls up and shoots. He misses. Rebound comes down to Applewhite. Here come the Bulldogs. Entry pass tipped away. Good denial defense there by Davis, but out top again to Applewhite.
Now Mississippi State's going to spread you out right now because Gavin Ware is out of the game. So now you've got essentially 5 guards and a small forward out on the floor.
The shot is up and no good, and back come the Aggies. Pulling up and shooting is Berger for 3 off back iron. Stone comes down at the rebound.
Mississippi State has gone back to man, so they're throwing a bunch of looks at this Aggies team, trying to confuse them.
Medlin almost loses the handle on it. Berger's able to get it, but Applewhite is going to get called for the reach.
Utah State has done a pretty stellar job so far of absorbing this high-pressure smothering defense in Mississippi State. They're getting the looks they want, high-percentage ones, but they're also not rushing their offense, playing pretty cerebral basketball, making the extra pass. Everybody's getting touches. A fundamentally sound club, as we talked about early on, and you're seeing it right now.
Wholesale changes for both Stu Morrill and for Rick Ray. We talked to Coach Ray earlier again today. He likes to play consistently, go deep in his bench with 9 guys on a regular basis. Passes tipped, loose ball on the floor. Stones on the bottom of the court. Let's see, it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow in favor of the Aggies.
And now you might be seeing a little bit of that rust. Utah State's been off for 7 days, coming off that pretty impressive win against UC Santa Barbara, a team that beat a very difficult Mountain West team in UNLV. So that's no easy win, and 7 days off, a little bit of rust, so they're working that off here in the first half, and you're seeing it in the first 7 minutes of play.
Marcel Davis thought about shooting, drives. Now this isn't off. Here's Butterfield.
And that's going to get this team over the hump, trying to find that rhythm offensively. Inside out, and when Butterfield gets his feet set, that thing's just as good as the alarm clock going off on a weekday morning, man. You can count on it.
Just not too early. Right?
You don't usually hear the cheers when that happens, when an alarm clock goes off either. How about 10,000 of them?
A miss on the end for the Bulldogs. Now a whistle away from the ball. So we're getting into Rockwez Johnson. He's going to whistle as he and Jordan Stone were jousting for position in the low post. Another change here. Gavin Ware back into the ball game. Jared Shaw taking his leader on the bench for Utah State.
The play-by-play guy, Ray Crawford, had to really study up because Mississippi State throws about 9 or 10 guys at you. So he had to know all the names for this one. It's like line changes in hockey.
They keep him moving. He did say they're kind of thin in the front court, and we saw it this morning as they went through the different offensive sets. They're thin in the front line. They can't afford to get into foul trouble. With Johnson picking up that foul there, again with 12:25 in the first half, so far so good in terms of the big guys in foul trouble.
Absolutely. I mean, it's almost like, hey, anybody can foul out, just not the big fella Gavin Ware.
Butterfield, fake and drives, now kicks it. That's Davis. Butterfield again for 3, and no good. And it's going to be Colin Borkin originally coming down with the basketball, but they're able to kick it out to Bluntman, who pushes the ball to the floor for the Dogs. Craig Swart guarded by Jalen Moore. Moore's father, remember the 1,000-point club here at Utah State, a local product.
Now, when you watch this Bulldog offense, watch Gavin Ware. He's been challenged to seal on that low block before the catch, try and get positioning. They're not even giving him a chance right now. You got to make more of an effort to look at Ware. Settling for the 3, but hey, right there, when you're good, you're good. And Borkert, they like that three-point shot from him, so you got what you wanted there, but really watch on these offensive possessions. Gavin Ware, they're challenging him not to just show him what you can do on the catch, but make the play before the catch, and that starts with the body positioning. Be interested to see on that next offensive possession what they do.
Borkert can get the game going inside and out. That'll be a benefit for the Bulldogs. Kind of off the Bulldogs, and it's going to stay with the Aggies. Timeout on the floor. We got a good one here in Logan. Utah State with a 13-9 lead over Mississippi State. The tip-in from Kyle Davis. And the Aggies cling to a lead at the Spectrum. Well, so far it's been a pretty good day for this future Bulldog. Mississippi State with a victory in overtime over Arkansas on the football field. And in basketball, hanging with Utah State here is the fans and the band to get things going here in Logan. As we mentioned, a huge tradition, 10,270 the capacity here at the Spectrum. And it's going to be pretty close to that here tonight. Yeah, and it looks like as the game's kind of progressing, it's going to be a closely contested one. Right now, Utah State not able to get any real cushion. That's because Mississippi State is managing the tempo. It's not becoming a prodding half-court basketball game. Oh, no. They're getting up and down, and that benefits Mississippi State. I would still like to see them offensively get more touches to Ware, but what Utah State's doing is pretty much textbook, efficient offense. Been impressed so far by the Bulldogs' defense. It's been making it very difficult for Utah State to find an open shot. Contesting a lot of the passes as well. Berger's shot on the way, no good off the front of the iron and ripped down by Gavin Ware. Sword driving with the left, now brings it back out top. Borkert between the circles. Looking inside for Ware, cross-court pass to Bloodman. Fred Thomas, stop, pop, and drops from 14. And that's just one of those where you just got to shrug if you're Coach Morrow right there. I mean, you did everything you could defensively. You kept the man in front. Heck, you even contested the shot as the shot clock's waning down, and sometimes the team just makes a great offensive basketball play, and that's what you saw right there. First point of the night for Fred Thomas. Great feed from Shaw to a cutting Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore moving without the basketball, and he's rewarded, and it's peripheral vision with the pass right there, but it makes it easy when you see a big afro darting through the lane, right? You got to see it a little bit easier. Moore whistled, draws the foul there, said it was in the act of shooting, so he's going to step to the line for an opportunity here to build this lead. Currently standing at 13-11. First one is on its way and through. Jalen Moore, you mentioned a local product here. Father, one of those legendary players. You get to the 1,000-point club. I think that's a legendary status no matter where you play. His father's also on the athletic department staff here at Utah State. I could still be playing basketball, Ray, and I wouldn't reach my 1,000-point mark in Notre Dame. So, yeah, that's an impressive feat. Moore's second attempt in and out. Fred Thomas thought about the three. Instead, kicks it to Sword. He drives and tries to get it to Ware. Loose ball, and Spencer Butterfield who comes away with it. Here come the Aggies on the run. This is Medlin for three. No good. Thomas with the rebound. Sword driving, dishing. Ware with a two-hand throwdown. Mississippi State getting what they want, and it's from the transition game. You take a look defensively. Utah State also throwing a 2-3 zone at the Bulldogs, and it's confused them in the half-court set. So how do you remedy that? You get out and go off a miss. Shaw gets the feed inside, tries to get off a quick shot. He can't make it. And it's Jalen Moore with the rebound, and the foul is good. Plus the foul will go to the line. Fear the throw. Fear the throw. Right place, right time right there. And perpetual motion. He benefits from it right there. Medlin caught one on the noggin, but I'm there to pick you up, says Moore. The old-fashioned three-point play opportunity. Well, a tough night for Medlin so far. No points. Getting abused out there in the lane. Getting an elbow in the head down there with the big fellas, and then he's still rubbing it up here. Moore's free throw is good, so the lead back up to 4. 9:24 to go here in the opening half. Mississippi State 3-0. Let's face it, the competition's not been what has been for Utah State, but 3-0 nonetheless, and a three-pointer on the way and good from Jacoby Davis. So Davis gets his first points of the night.
There's the hand check, and the officials, it's been one of the main points of emphasis in the offseason. A lot's been made of defensively to get out and guard. And we talked with Mississippi State Bulldog coach Rick Ray before, and he said, you know, we'd love to get out and defend, but with these new rules, we can't quite pick up full court like we'd like to. And right there, you saw clearly why the officials quick to the whistle.
We saw Rockwez Johnson checking back in for Mississippi State. This is Tanale Rowland at the line for the Aggies.
A good illustration of how good Utah State's been on offense. They're already to the bonus. Too many violations defensively from the Bulldogs, so you can't leave the money on the table as Rowland unable to get the free throw there.
Tough challenge here for the Bulldogs on the road in Logan. A tough place to play, and they are meeting that challenge. They have an opportunity here to take the lead. It's Applewhite who drives, and he's going to draw the foul. Looks like they're going to whistle Jared Shaw in the low post.
Good thought right there from Shaw, as he's been incredibly efficient offensively, trying to get involved defensively. A step too slow, trying to close off the baseline right there. One more half step, a half second earlier, and that's a charge. But you like the effort. No coach is going to get mad with an effort foul like that.
And a 5-second violation. Jacoby Davis nowhere to go, and they're going to turn the ball back over to the Aggies.
I liken those plays to 50-50 balls. They say you win the 50-50 balls, you win the game. Much like a 50-50 ball is an effort play like that. They couldn't even find a receiver, the defense so good.
Shaw trying to gain position on where in that low post. Now comes out top to set a screen. Shaw just a step inside the three-point line, and he's going to draw a foul. I think this might be Johnson, and if it is, it's going to be his second foul, I believe.
And when you're that effective from the perimeter like the big fella Shaw is, they call him slim. You got to get out there and contest. You see, that's what the effort they're trying to make now. The Bulldogs trying to contest any jumper he takes because he's so hot. What do you do right there? You overthink it, paralysis by analysis, and they foul the jump shooter.
So Jared Shaw at the line here. And he's good on the front end here of 2 free throws. So they try to get the inside-out game going, do the Aggies. Jared Shaw is doing a great job inside, maybe giving them a little bit more from the perimeter that they thought they might not have been getting. But those Utah State three-point shooters not have done well. 1 for 6, just 16% here from three-point land for the Aggies in the opening half.
Yeah, Rand, you'll continue to see the zone from Mississippi State if Utah State's not going to shoot them out of the zone. That's how you take a team out of zone. You knock down a three-point shot. Utah State unable to do so early on, but Shaw's doing a great job of carving out space, giving himself scoring opportunities.
Shaw converts on both of his free throws, so now the lead back up to 3 here for Utah State.
Utah State back to man now, so both teams shifty with their defense, different looks to confuse the offenses, and no one really finding the offensive rhythm quite yet in the first half of the first half.
Thomas guarded by Spencer Medlin. I beg your pardon, Preston Medlin. Thomas drives. He can't get the lay-in to go. He had a step on the defender and Preston Medlin, but it's Medlin back the other way now with it. Butterfield gets his feet set, lets a three-pointer fly, and it's good.
Superior vision for Preston Medlin right there. The skip pass defense not getting back, and Butterfield makes him pay. Butter from distance.
2 three-pointers and 6 points now for Butterfield. They'll need him to get going. Thomas tries to drive again. You wonder in that timeout if he was encouraged to take the ball. Applewhite's been doing a good job. Now Thomas has tried twice, but 0 for 2 in the drive. Here's Butterfield, second trip down and 2 more points. They want to call a timeout. Rick Ray wants to talk about it. Jared Shaw in front of the student section. He's pumped about it as well.
The sixth man is thoroughly involved right now. Taking a page out of Mississippi State's book is Utah State. Transition basketball. Butterfield, the beneficiary on 2 offensive possessions. The first, a great skip pass and a wide open look from 3. A second opportunity looked like deja vu. Another skip pass from Medlin. We thought Butterfield would settle for the 3. Thinking the game, Ray Crawford right there. Head fake, couple power dribbles. Braced himself to absorb the contact. But like all great finishers, what they do, keep their eye on the goal the entire time, and right there, that enabled Butterfield to finish amongst the trees.
Just a few moments ago, the Bulldogs were within a point and had a possession and opportunity to take the lead. Now they find themselves trailing here by 8 points. What are you telling your club if you're Rick Ray?
You're saying continue to push this basketball up and down the floor. You got to get stops to get out and go. But I think you're getting a real look at Utah State and just how dynamic of a team they are, because they can do it in a half-court set, but they can get out and go too. So this is a very chameleon-like basketball team. They can adopt several identities.
Davis, three-point attempt, rims in and out. Rebound inside by Dre Applewhite, and he's going to draw the foul. All right, and Dre Applewhite will step to the line. A timeout. We'll be back. Utah State with a 24-16 lead here at the Spectrum. Both teams unbeaten at 3-0. Back in a moment. 7:14 remaining here in the first half. 24-16. Utah State with a lead over Mississippi State. So glad to have you with us here at the Mountain West Digital Network, powered by Campus Insiders. I'm Ray Crawford, joined by analyst Jordan Cornette, former Notre Dame standout as well. And this has been a good game. And as you mentioned before the timeout, Utah State really trying to get into their groove. Maybe that week off, they're starting to shake that rust here and show what we've been coming to expect from the Aggies. Yeah, Ray, we talked about it. I said it's going to be a battle of strengths. Whose strength is stronger in this basketball game? Well, Mississippi State's strength is defense. Utah State's is being efficient offensively, and if you look at the numbers, Utah State is prevailing right now. 7 assists to 2 turnovers, so they're taking care of the pill. 9 of 18 from the field, so they're efficient from the shooting standpoint of things. Now, once they get going for the three-point line, it could really break out this basketball game, as they're only 2 of 7 right now. Dre Applewhite good on one of his 2 free throw attempts, and they've struggled at the line so far in this game here tonight. Utah State more comfortable operating against a man defense, and a clean look right there from the big fella Clifford. He's capable to step out. Every athlete on the floor for Utah State can stretch the defense. They're all gifted offensively and can all shoot from 3. Right there, a clean look. Greg Swart, nice drive. He misses the front, and a whistle. And it's going to go against the Bulldogs here. That'll send them back to the line. I believe it was Ware. It is going over the back. We talked about this earlier too. Take a look. Fundamentally sound basketball teams, when the ball goes up, get in rebounding position. Right there, Shaw didn't necessarily get the box out, but he competed on the backboard, and he beat the defender in there to grab the rebound, and he's rewarded with 2 free throws. Utah State's been relatively effective from the free throw line, 4 of 6. Can they continue? Shaw is able to make the first of 2. Quite an impressive start for Jared Shaw in this one. No rust for him. He came out with 14, 15, 16-foot jump shots. He misses the second of his 2 free throw opportunities. So still here an 8-point lead. 6:37 remaining in the first half. Sword picks up his dribble. Hounded by Butterfield. This is Fred Thomas. Ware comes out to set the screen. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Applewhite driving and scoring with the left hand. You got to like it. He's not afraid to go inside. He's not converted each time he's been in there, but he was able to at that point. Applewhite more of a leader, and a defensively sound possession right there from Utah State, challenging them all the way to the waning seconds of the shot clock. And right there, there's just simply nothing you can do. That's a tough drive, tough finish. Tennell Rowland with a 3-pointer on the way. It's no good. Ware comes down with the rebound. Sword pushing it back the other way. He's going to take it right at Shaw. Count the bucket, and he draws the foul, the second on Shaw. That's what they love to do right there. Get out and go in transition. Craig Sword, that's what he does. This kid is a superior athlete, and he goes right to the chin of Shaw, the big fella. Rick Ray's got to love that one, because relegates my man Shaw to the bench, so Slim has to get comfortable, and Slimmer on the bench. So an opportunity here for the Bulldogs to take advantage of Jared Shaw, one of the leaders for the Aggies. He'll have to sit on the bench with those 2 fouls, and 5:47 remaining here in the first half. Also very surprised to see how quiet Preston Medlin has been in this game. Medlin spinning, firing. And three-point shot on the way and rims in and out from Ben Clifford, but the steal. And Butterfield is able to get his hands on it. It's going to be out of bounds off the Bulldogs, and the Aggies will keep the basketball.
Just a gritty effort from Butterfield, and we marveled early on about how he's been able to have such big-time rebounding outputs, posting 20 in a game earlier this year. This kid goes after the basketball. He's got a great nose for the ball, and yeah, he didn't score it right there, but more importantly, gives his team a second chance opportunity.
Inbounds here to Marcel Davis, and Sword kicked it out of bounds. Ben Clifford is going to step in. He's getting his first minutes in this game. He's going to trigger the inbounds. Suffered a fractured foot in a pickup game back in September. Was not expected to return to this team until December. Way ahead of schedule. It was a huge factor down the stretch in that game at UC Santa Barbara, going 6 for 6 from the line in the last 5 minutes to help them seal that victory. A tough victory on the road as the ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay at this end. Utah State's going to keep possession here.
The difference between winning and losing in this game, sometimes it could be as fine a line as just winning the 50-50 basketballs. What I mean by that, the loose balls, usually the team that comes up with those, that can be the difference. A lot of second chance opportunities you see for this Aggies basketball team, and more times than not, they've made you pay on that second chance.
Oh, Butterfield's pass picked off. Back the other way. This is Trevante Bloodman back to the other end. His layup is no good, perhaps. Butterfield got a tip on it. Preston Medlin stopped, shoots a three, and it's good. His first points of the night.
Off the dribble, a rhythm play right there in transition. Medlin's fired up. He knows he's not getting it going, and right there, that may have been the play that gets him over the hump. But in rhythm, off the right-hand dribble is when he's at his best from the three-point line, and right there, the momentum shift.
Here's a good feed and a great look inside to Gavin Wares. Craig Sword found him wide open, and he throws it down.
The beauty of the basketball game, Ray Crawford, as soon as I say the momentum shift, what is just as good as a three-pointer sometimes is a dunk for the opponent on the road, because it takes the crowd out of it. It's a demoralizing basketball play.
Medlin with a three on the way. And a whistle.
Looks like if they got him on the screen, Jordan Stone right there, an illegal screen.
So Medlin's starting to get that feel in that stroke. He was out here early before both teams took the floor, and finally the stroke's starting to work for him, picking up the three.
You know, we talked about him, Ray. He's kind of the heartbeat of this basketball team, the heart and soul, 1,000-point scorer. He's done it for his career. But interesting on that last play right there, Coach Stu Morrow talked about how he likes his offense to run, and it's predicated on tough physical screens. When the officials call those screens close, it enables them not to do what they like, punished for it on the last possession.
Loose ball off the Jacoby Davis three-point attempt is pulled down and corralled by Jalen Moore. Moore, his pass is picked off by Gavin Ware. Here comes Craig Sword, 3-on-2 for the Dogs. Jacoby Davis pulls up and he misses the shot attempt, and far short on the 3-on-2.
Now you'd like to see Utah State slow it up right here. You've got the game in your hands. Control tempo right here. Mississippi State closing in. You'd like to see a good offensive possession from the Aggies.
Utah State trying to build on that 4-point lead. Here's Medlin driving and scoring. He's got 5 in the game now.
The defender trails on the down screen, so Medlin takes him on a tour, curling, hugs the screen, giving him that space, and with momentum, goes straight to the rim. Nice floater, solid touch.
Sword with Butterfield guarding him. And his shot is off the mark. Moore comes away with the rebound. Here's Medlin. Will he think and try a three? Sure it does, and it's good.
And I knew that shot was down. I want you to hear the crowd a little bit right there. Let them hear it. I knew that shot was down again because Preston Medlin had that rhythm dribble in transition. It's when he's at his best as a three-point shooter. Coming out, momentum going towards the rim, couple rhythm dribbles. It's as, you know it's down before he lets it go. But I had to lay out right there because the crowd is pretty deafening in here at times, and I wanted the viewer to get a sense of just how lively it is. This is one of the better college venues that I've been to.
Yeah, Preston Medlin has got things going right now, so much so Rick Ray wanted to call a timeout, talk about it with his Bulldogs before this one starts to get away. The lead back up now to 9 points here for the Aggies. And Mississippi State is closed. They've certainly closed their way, closed the gap. We're within a point a couple of times, 3 points at some points during the first half here. But now it seems like Utah State, again, trying to stretch that lead.
It's definitely been some ebbs and flows to this basketball game. A lot of times it seems like it's going to benefit Mississippi State because it's got chaotic up and down. But that, again, the dynamic basketball team that Utah State is, they've been able to morph into it and get out and get transition themselves, Medlin benefiting.
All right, the officials have blown the whistle. They're looking up toward the clock here. Let's see what they're over at the scores table talking about.
There's a timeout on the floor.
So a timeout. So with Utah State on top here, 33-24. Preston Medlin starting to turn things on here for the Aggies. Stu Morrow will have his team sit down and talk about how they want to tackle the final 2:44 here of the opening half in Logan. It's the Aggies up 33-24. Back in a moment. Back here, the student fans are revved up, and they should be. Their team with a 33-24 lead here with 2:44 remaining in the first half. The football team got a victory today. They're hoping the basketball team can follow suit and improve to 4-0. Look back through the history here at Utah State, and they've had 4-0 starts down through the years. Going for the 29th 4-0 start in 109 years that they've been playing basketball here in Logan. The last time was back during the 2008-2009 season.
And they're just happy to have a healthy bunch themselves. Look, 3 starters who returned were gone mid-season for the rest of the year last year. So a healthy bunch makes pretty much for a tournament team. This is one of my dark horse teams I said all along. I love the Aggies into March. You're getting a taste of what they can do. And now they're coming alive from the three-point line, using that as a weapon with a couple threes to give them that boost and that bigger lead.
Jordan Stone on the guarding assignment inside of Gavin Ware, who gives it up to Applewhite. Now Ware from 15, and he drops it.
Ware bails him out right there. Applewhite picks up the dribble in no man's land, has nobody. Moving without the ball is Ware, and he can knock down that 15-footer with precision. An incredible athlete, soft hands, can score in a variety of ways, the perimeter being one of them.
Medlin, who's come on here in the last few moments, very active on the offensive end. This is Marcel Davis. Back to Medlin.
More zone for Mississippi State.
And we got a 3-second violation on the inside against the Aggies, so it's going to be Bulldogs basketball.
Loitering against the law, and apparently it is here too in Utah as Jordan Stone camping out in the lane for more than 3. You'll get that one called.
Tanel Rowland checking in for Marcel Davis. He'll go have a seat on the Aggies bench. 1:50 remaining here in the first half. This is just Kobe Davis with the basketball. Gives it up for Dre Applewhite. Ware with it. Jordan Stone with the guarding assignment. Craig Sword. Pump fake. Picks up his dribble. Shot clock down to 9. And the pass intended for Gavin Ware. Picked off by Jordan Stone. So here come the Aggies the other way. Medlin, near side corner. Jalen Moore at 3, and he's got it.
Medlin really starting to become the playmaker and the catalyst for this Aggies basketball team, and a lot of it right in transition. He's hit a couple threes, but he's also made some impressive cross-court plays, finding open shooters, high percentage shots. Fear the fro right there, a 3-point shot.
The lead is up to 10. Tipping on the miss is no good from Ware. Ball on the floor. Who's got it? It's going to be the Aggies coming away with it. Butterfield back the other way. And going to be whistled on a foul. Jacoby Davis is going to be whistled. So Butterfield is going to go to the line to shoot 2. With the clock stopped, 46 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Butterfield, compact and a physical basketball player, also comfortable with the ball in his hands. He got it on the outlet and wasn't waiting for anybody. Thought he had the advantage to get to the rim. Davis could not keep up with him. Using the hands, he gets called for the foul. I call that the first date foul. No hands allowed. No hands allowed. You like
Spencer Butterfield, I like that. You had me speechless.
I have that effect.
Got a lot of good ones,
man.
Jordan Cornette, man. You've been working on them.
Fired up. This crowd, man, you got to bring your A game.
It's wonderful. It's terrific here. And speaking of terrific, a great story about Spencer Butterfield, one of those players injured last year, played through a hip injury, had hip surgery during the offseason, started a slow walk off of crutches, then building to a jog and then a sprint, and he's back now and he looks better than ever.
Looks fantastic.
So being whistled as you get a look there at Spencer Butterfield, one of the leaders for this Aggies basketball team. They had to use a lot of depth with all those injuries last year, but it paid off. It made them a stronger, more experienced team coming into this season, and I think you're seeing the trials that they went through, as well as Mississippi State a year ago, starting to come to fruition here and being a benefit.
Yeah, both teams pretty much healthy for the most part, minus one key component, I.J. ready for the Mississippi State team. But for the most part, you're seeing the best of these two basketball teams, and you're seeing a highly competitive basketball game. Mississippi State able to hang in this one. The experts, in quotations, like Utah State by 12 and a hook. Almost spot on right now.
Yeah, Jacoby Davis makes the free throws, goes to the bench. Tyson Cunningham checks in for him with 37 seconds remaining. And the Aggies looking to build on a 10-point lead. Fred Thomas guarding Preston Medlin out between the circles. Butterfield driving, kicking. Medlin, three-pointer on the way, it's good. Preston Medlin feeling it from deep.
Now that's a repetition play that this team practices every day in practice. A couple prodding dribbles into the teeth of the defense, into the lane, collapses the defense, swing pass wide open look for three. That's just textbook guard play.
Craig Sword with a little off-balance shot as time expires. And Utah State getting on a roll here in the back half, or the opening half of play. And they'll take a 41-28 lead into the locker room. This team has won 87 of their last 89 games when they lead at the half. And they have it on Mississippi State right now at halftime. We're through the first half of play. Jordan and I will return here to the Spectrum. Halftime festivities about to begin here in Logan.